We are just seconds away from the women's finals, folks. How about welcoming from Russia, Svetlana Kuznetsova. She's being accompanied by 8-year-old Molly Lepre, one of our next-gen superstars. And now, please welcome American Madison Keys. Madison being accompanied by 9-year-old Stella Strike, one of our next-gen superstars.
Madison Keys faces Svetlana Kuznetsova in the final of the Western and Southern Open. In one way, you could say the finale is a surprising one, since Kuznetsova is a wild card ranked 153rd, while Keys had lost 3 in a row heading into Cincinnati. But at the same time, Keys is a former U.S. Open finalist with plenty of appearances deep at majors, while Kuznetsova is a 2-time Grand Slam winner. And as is often the case for players who make finals, they both had to battle through matches to reach this stage, with Kuznetsova even saving match points in the early rounds. Now, Kuznetsova will celebrate her 20-year anniversary as a pro next year, which she is fully aware of. And to give you an indication of what kind of a week she has had, she's beaten 3 top 10 players for the first time in the same edition of a tournament this week. And as for Keys, she's defeated 3 Grand Slam winners in Simona Halep, Garbiñe Muguruza, and Venus Williams. So both players certainly earning their way to this final, as is customary over the last couple of days. Some photos before the coin toss. Pretty lighthearted before we get down to business.
Ladies, hello. We have Mike and Kate with us for coin toss.
Mike Morgan from Cincinnati, who won the race. From Western and Southern.
Ladies, before we start, photo with Mike and Kate that way, and then at the end of a coin toss, we're gonna do it this way and that way, just you two, okay? So first, now this one. All right. Girls, usual conditions, heat rule is in. We do have ice towels and ice bags ready for you. Just request them, please, so both kids know already where they are. That's about it. If you need anything, something's wrong, let me know. Girls, any questions? No? Sveta, heads, tails? Heads is this one, W and S, all right? Mike, all yours. Ready?
I'll serve.
Serve? Yeah. Guys, I'll have to ask you to leave so girls can stay. Sveta.
And one more.
And the other side as well. Thanks, girls.
Maria Cicak is in the chair for this one, and she might have some pressure on her shoulders. Yesterday, Julie Chenley may have pulled off the best overrule ever for the match between Madison Keys and Sofia Kenin. So the final is set at the Western and Southern Open. It's the number 16 seed Madison Keys will take on the wild card in Svetlana Kuznetsova. We're at the Lindner Family Tennis Center on the outskirts of Cincinnati, more like Mason, Ohio, with the Kings Island amusement park in the distance. Fun at the amusement park, and always fun in the booth to have Claire Curran alongside myself, Ravi Uba, and Claire. As we look to this final, Keys has had the better of their head-to-heads, 3-0 against Kuznetsova. But how do you see this final going?
Well, she's certainly favourite going into it, Ravi, and it's lovely to actually be here and to watch this match, especially with you in such an awesome day. The weather conditions are fantastic. As you heard, the heat rule is in play. But now for Keys, she's definitely favourite going into this match. But it's been quite a week, hasn't it, for Kuznetsova? 3 top 10 wins, as you said, and that's something with which she hasn't done, which is amazing to think that for 19-year career that she's never been in that position to have those wins. But she's been exceptional throughout the week. But you feel that if Madison Keys plays her A game, she could be a little bit unstoppable. She's got such a big serve and a big forehand, and it's Svetlana Kuznetsova's job today to prevent Keys playing her A game, and she certainly has the weapons to do that, and she's been doing that really throughout the week by taking away big weapons of her opponents, taking away the serve yesterday of Ash Barty, absorbing the pressure of Sloane Stephens, and she's been playing with maturity and just finding different ways to win, Svetlana Kuznetsova. So I expect today that this will be very competitive. I think she has to keep the score very tight early on and put as much pressure on that serve of Madison Keys, and hope that the pressure that she can build on Keys mentally will give her a little bit of a wobble.
Yeah, she's had to face some big hitters this week, as we can see there. And just a note on her ranking of 153rd, even if she does not win this final, it's a big boost already to number 62. If she wins it, she's back inside the top 50. Look at that win to start off with against Anastasia Sevastova, who won the title recently in Yermala. And the big hitters, players like Barty, like Pliskova, like Yastremska, who was just obviously so close to winning. She's the one who had 2 match points on Kuznetsova on her own serve as well. So obviously full of confidence is Kuznetsova, as is Madison Keys. She had come in on this on the back of a tough loss last week in Toronto to Donna Vekic, where she had consecutive match points, 3 straight match points on her own serve. Couldn't put it away, ended up losing a couple of tie breaks. Lost her first set this week to Garbiñe Muguruza in a tiebreak, but she was able to turn it around. She said that's where it all started for her, was able to get confidence in pulling out that type of victory, and has really just kicked on from that. And that win over Halep, first time she'd beaten her in their last 6 matches, so ending that 5-match losing streak. And yeah, we know about the weapons that she has, but she's also talked this week about playing more within herself.
Look, she is 24 years of age. She's still relatively young, and you still feel that there's so much more from Madison Keys, and today might be the stepping stone to her maybe achieving her first Grand Slam. But the big key for Keys, I think, throughout her career has been trying to find ways to win whenever her big shots aren't on, and she certainly has the game to do that. She's been moving exceptionally well throughout the tournament so far, been in defensive situations often. Yesterday in that match against Sofia Kenin, we saw her stretching out, sliding, slicing balls down, but her willingness to get behind the ball and get her racket on those balls and make her opponent play another ball, that's very good for her, and big improvements as well. But it's just at times knowing that in a mental capacity, that when the match gets very tight, and if her first serve isn't there, that she herself is confident enough in knowing that the rest of her game is good enough to get the job done.
I wonder how mindful she will be of that 3-0 record that she does have over Kuznetsova, because the last one was a while back in 2016 in Beijing, a won by Keys in straight sets. And both these players pulled off some amazing shots yesterday.
30 seconds.
Kuznetsova could have had the shot of the day with an amazing forehand return winner against Barty, and for Keys, I think she just edged it. Third last point against Sofia Kenin, stretched on the defense, and it was a sublime passing shot slice, and she really did like that.
Well, she didn't have any idea how she hit it, but Brad Gilbert also liked it, didn't he?
Amazing. No, it was amazing stuff.
3 tiebreak sets. Madison Keys won a toss and chose to serve.
Heat rule is in, as Claire was mentioning. So what that means is if we go to a third set, players do have the option of taking a 10-minute break between the second and third set. One of these two will succeed Kiki Bertens as the champion in Cincinnati.
First set. Madison Keys to serve. Ready. Play.
It is Madison Keys to start this final. Well, how about that for a slice of luck to start from Kuznetsova? No wonder the smiles from both.
Well, yesterday When Madison Keys started out against Kennan, she served 4 out of her first 7 first serves were aces, and she went big on those serves. And I'm just wondering today whether or not she'll take a bit of pace off the ball, go for more consistency. And so far, with the exception of that serve, she's done so.
Let's six it.
No aces, oh, pardon me, no aces or no first serves just yet for Keys, and Kuznetsova has the early advantage.
She went so big yesterday against Kennan to start with, and a large part of that is the respect of that return of serve Kennan possesses in terms of putting her in difficulty from it.
15-14.
But she'll always feel in this match that Kuznetsova, she'll have a look at the next ball. Even if Kuznetsova's really aggressive with the return, there's still enough spin on that ball for her to get behind.
2 break chances. Just kind of fought off that serve, did Kuznetsova. But the error from Keys, and she breaks to start.
Well, a little bit of luck on the very first point. Could that be the luck that she needs for the day? But the rest were unforced errors from Madison Keys, and all came from not moving her feet at all. The feet aren't moving. It's an indication that you are suffering maybe a little
nerves.
A few nerves out there. She's looked particularly relaxed. She's been smiling an awful lot, but internally, this is a very big match today for both players. And maybe Madison Keys also feeling a little bit more pressure.
Well, there we see that statistic about beating 3 top 10 players this week. And one of them, Karolina Pliskova, really in trouble now when she was down a set and 5-3. And Pliskova, who's the ace leader, couldn't close it out. Yet to really get going in this final. Keys hasn't really struck a ball cleanly just yet.
Well, Kuznetsova has spoken this week about the difference in her own tennis and the fact that in playing these matches, she's playing a lot smarter and wiser, learning from her mistakes on the court. And you feel like she's thinking her way through performances now.
Well, there we go. A real rip on that forehand from Keys.
30-15.
Carlos Martinez, the coach of Kuznetsova, he's known her for such a long time, working with both now, Kuznetsova and mainly Daria Kasatkina, but Kasatkina okay, Kuznetsova said, with just sharing for the time being. She's looking to mix it up as she can do, Kuznetsova.
And of course, earlier on in the week, he took a fairly hefty beating from Madison Keys and his player, Daria Kasatkina. So second time, he's got another shot at it now.
Well, Kuznetsova wanted nothing of that forehand.
And just see the different trajectories that Kuznetsova played in that game, using her backhand with a little bit more height. But when she had the chance, she used her footwork and stepped up and hit that backhand hard, flat and early, causing the unforced error.
And mixed it up there once again. Took the pace off, middle of the box. Keys out in front. And Kuznetsova consolidates for 2-love.
Well, this is the perfect start for Kuznetsova.
Who is bidding for her first title since winning Washington last year. She's been affected by injuries, a wrist injury and knee problems for Kuznetsova. And for a while, she didn't know if she'd be able to play in Toronto and Cincinnati because of visa issues. So she was able to get that sorted just in the nick of time.
She's been very humorous about this week, hasn't she? When she's asked what's made the difference in her performances, she's very quick to say the visa.
Just missed that, I believe.
Show the call on the right pass line. The ball is called outs.
Yeah, you can't win if you can't step on the court. So we all await this first challenge of the final. Oh, it caught up a bit of the line. That was big for Keys.
Yes, and she's playing closer to the lines in this game. This is what we've seen from her serve in her performance in the semi-finals. Going big, but going close to the lines. It's just giving her the chance to open up more court with that next shot.
So she is on the board in this final, Madison Keys. But it is Svetlana Kuznetsova who has the early break advantage, 2-1.
We are looking for 2 lucky fans to be upgraded from our friends at American Express. Christy's out in the stands looking for you. There she is. How about making some noise for Christy? Who's it going to be? Who's going to move closer to the court for the remainder of today's session? Closing in on a couple of winners, and there we go. Congratulations from our friends at American Express. Don't delay. Without it. Way to go, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, find your seats quickly, please. Thank you. Time.
A glittering week for Svetlana Kuznetsova, who entered Cincinnati with a 7-8 record. She made a return to the tour in April in Lugano, making the quarterfinals there on the clay. But then didn't win back-to-back matches once again until last week in Canada. She has made the brighter start in this one.
Well, she's done an excellent job of not allowing Keys so far to step in and hit big. And first serve percentage is so important in this match for Kuznetsova.
Dozula.
Claire, maybe you can elaborate on the different overlooks the different serves that Kuznetsova hits because people might be out there thinking, okay, there isn't that much pace compared to Keys, but she can back it up the serve very well.
Well, she can. She certainly does not hit it with that same pace. She gets exceptional depth on the ball on that serve, and the precision. She's very precise with where she's trying to hit it, and often she'll go into the body of Keys, jamming her. But there's enough depth on the serve, and that's key for Kuznetsova, to get that depth on the serve to prevent a player like Keys stepping in and hitting it. And right now, she's been serving at 80% first serves high, but it's an aggressive type of serve. She's got purpose with it.
Like that one.
We used to see back in the old days, not that old days, but
3 games to 1.
she obviously grew up from the age of, in her teenage years, in Spain, and she's got a lot of her game is very, very Spanish. And you think about Arantxa Sánchez Vicario and the way she played, she's a much more aggressive version of Sánchez Vicario, who coached her actually at early part of her career. But Sánchez Vicario used to just put that serve into the court. I remember once watching her play a match in Charleston. I think she had 99% first serves. It was incredible. But Kuznetsova is so much more aggressive than that.
She's so good defending and counter-punching Kuznetsova.
She's just got such soft hands here. It makes this look relatively easy, and it's not. She's running up at speed. She's got somebody at the net. She's got to thread the needle here, and she just finds it. Her serve is a shot that starts the point, but it's much more aggressive now.
Well, she did something different there, Kuznetsova.
30-15.
Charging in on the return. Wanted to take it early, but too much heat on that serve from Keys.
That's big. That is big. And that's what she doesn't want, Kuznetsova, just these free points, unreturnables.
Good get from Kuznetsova.
40-13.
Excellent. Just changed it up on the return. Used that chip. Got herself back into the point.
Keys has hit 46 aces this week, and the high water mark was yesterday against Kenin, 14.
Game, Keys.
And there was one game that was 42 seconds. She had 3 aces. This one not as quick, but ends with an ace. Kuznetsova, though, leads 3-2.
3 games to 2.
Madison Keys says the Western and Southern Open are one of her favorite tournaments. Loves the feel of this event. On the outskirts of Cincinnati, says does remind her of home. A native of Rock Island, Illinois, near the Iowa border. And she's been checking out the amusement park where the players get a free pass.
I thought as you got older, you had just less interest in going on those big waltzers. No, I certainly do, but I envy the fact that she still loves it.
She said her fitness coach once went on the roller coaster, and yeah, he's not going to do it again.
No, especially not with some of the storms we've seen. That's such a heavy forehand from Kuznetsova.
15.
And it's good to see that Kuznetsiva's been willing to be aggressive. She plays with margins. That's a big shot, that.
Let's see if she can maintain this break lead and win the first set, Kuznetsova, because when they last met in Beijing, she led 5-2 in the first set, had 2 set points actually in a couple of different games before Keys had rallied. And then 2015 in Sydney.
So easy looking. So much talent. And talent takes you so far. You've got to have the work ethic to be able to run down shots like this and keep yourself in the rally. Desire.
Yeah, a bit of a risky approach there. Cross court, the space was there down the line, and Kuznetsova able to exploit it.
I don't think she's ever going to feel that whenever she sees Keys in that position coming forward, she's always going to have that extra determination to just make Keys play a volley at the very least. Not the place she's the most comfortable.
Oh. Even if she looked a bit jammed there, she still pummeled that forehand.
Well, Kuznetsova hit a shot like this just before she got to set point yesterday against Barty, and I thought it was probably one of the best shots I'd seen, but that's up there.
Yeah, just to go back to that match in Sydney 2015, Kuznetsova also led in the first set there 4-2. She's been in this situation before in a first set against Keys.
Right, second serve.
But will this be the time where she takes the opener?
Well, in the last couple of rounds, Kuznetsova, she has stayed focused throughout the matches, and that's been very, very apparent in that. And you just sense that if she obviously has a little bit of a dip in form, Keys has got too much, and she'll hurt her with it.
Always mixing it up.
Yes.
Trying to take Keys by surprise there with the serve and volley.
Keys did well, just dipping it down to the feet.
It seemed like it's set up nicely for Keys.
Still hasn't got those feet really moving yet. Millimeters there to move them to get into the right position.
Yes.
Back to deuce we go. Kuznetsova didn't quite do enough there, and Keys took advantage.
Too much spin on this forehand. It held the ball up. Keys lapping that up. Great backhand cross-court pass. Too short with the approach.
You could understand Kuznetsova there wanting to go away from the forehand, but that's where the space was. She had the ability to really rip that shot and Could have forced the error on that side, if not hit a winner. This game was 40-15, but now Keys' first break chance. Big hitting. She took on that forehand after missing a couple of similar forehands in this game.
She certainly played with more spin there in her aggression, just forcing Keys back off that baseline.
Advantage, Keys.
That first double fault gives Keys a second break chance. Played that point perfectly.
Yes.
Higher ball making it difficult for Keys and prompting a shorter reply.
It's such intelligence. This is her finding another way to try to win these points. And she's so quick onto the next shot as well. And look at the trajectory of that last forehand. So close to the net.
Oh, what a great pickup by Kuznetsova.
Advantage, Kuznetsova.
And the key to it was that she followed it into the net.
Continuing to change it up there, Kuznetsova. Those looping balls. Keys airs in the end, and it's 4-2.
Did well getting out of that game. Had to try lots of different things. Kuznetsova, there was a couple of unforced errors early on. And Keys will want a very quick hold here and put that pressure right back on the serve of Kuznetsova.
And by contrast, after saving those two break chances, Kuznetsova will look to really turn it on, try to get the double break.
And she certainly feel that she needs to as well. That'll give her a bit of a jolt, that last service game.
Oh, she wants that return back, Kuznetsova. So good, usually putting those returns in play. Put that return in play, and then again, low to the feet, making it difficult for Keys on the volley.
Well, she has an ability on the return of serve to be able to change her position, and she can hit with different types of returns through it or slice it. But she'll like to see in this service game already that Keys has started to take a little bit of pace off the ball. That gives her a chance to get into the rally.
After saving the two break chances, Kuznetsova has two in this game. Oh, She read it. She read it so early, Kuznetsova.
30-40.
She just tried to be a little bit too cute with the final shot there.
That drop shot has worked well for Keys this week. Yesterday against Cannon, a couple of important ones against Simona Halep. That time the return left short and Keys all over it.
Advantage Keys.
And that's what Kuznetsova doesn't want to see. When Keys is feeling a lot of pressure, she tends to go to that kick serve, topspin serve. She started off the match playing it and she got broken.
How good was that? Just the redirection of pace on the backhand.
Well, so few people can hit the backhand in the way that Kuznetsova's just executed that one. No take back at all. Just use the pace of Keys. It's a backhand to me that's very reminiscent of Andre Agassi's backhand.
The stretch on the return
Advantage
kept the point going.
Kuznetsova.
Third break chance.
Deuce.
Just a couple of opportunities there on that backhand side off the return this game. She hasn't been able to take.
Advantage Keys.
No chance on that serve, Kuznetsova.
It's so short, the angle she finds. Great slice on the serve.
Crushes the backhand. Saves the 3 break chances, and there was one golden chance on one of those for Kuznetsova. 4-3.
Forget about all these things. No, it's final. It's a lot of matches. You need to let them go and forget about it. Play with whatever you want. Very important, because is she playing from behind the court or inside the court? Okay, there's no way you play with Sonia yesterday that came a million miles and the ball didn't beat you. There's no way they're going to let her ball beat us. No chance. When you don't have it with her, she won't hit a winner from back there. We need to do what we talked about, right? What is it? We get there without the lower beatings, we stay, and without moving, we do tuck, there, here. Problem is that you're here and you're moving. And sometimes the ball comes and it's beating. When she goes high to the backhand like that, move and go cross for fast. You know, cross for deep over there and start again. Do not rush and do not. She's going to try to bring you in, she's going to try to pull you back, because if she plays same to same with you, she can. Now, she's playing behind. Play like we talk, you know, without overheating, without underheating there. But when you get the chance, try to open a little bit. She's so far behind that as soon as you open once, you already have the curl. And be ready when you hit a good
Ladies
shot.
and gentlemen, take your seats quickly, please. Thank you.
You need to get in. Listen, keep hitting through it, like we talked about. Don't worry about it. And sometimes it's going to make you miss, like we talked. You're going to have points that are won and maybe you lose it, but it's about the
Time.
So, keep those returns. Keep returning. Do it.
Madison Keys trailing 4-3 in this first set against Svetlana Kuznetsova. But it could have been worse. Had to save 3 break chances in the last game. So the coach, Juan Tadera, came out at the change of ends. Claire, what did you take out of that conversation?
Well, I think the main thing is that he doesn't want her to get involved in playing Kuznetsova's game, which is playing high behind the baseline. And instead of going high back, to step in and go back cross court, and wait for the shot to go down the line when you're inside the court. She's been trying to change direction a little bit too early when she's been behind that baseline. She's been making mistakes. But this is a really good response from Kuznetsova, because that last service game, she had that opportunity, 3 opportunities to break. Wasn't able to take it. She's responded well here.
Game Kuznetsova.
Further proof of that.
I think it's the experience that you see there from Kuznetsova. No panic. She's coming through some very big situations all week. And obviously for somebody who hasn't played a lot, had to take 7 months off this year, she just doesn't, she seems so match sharp.
Give me all the balls here, please. Yes, we have 3 red, and look, no, we have 3 red. We have 3 red, okay. So we play with those ones, but we're gonna get the other ones in. 3 red ones, please. Now, yes.
Three red balls, they need more of those. Keys serving to stay in the first set. And we saw Daria Kasatkina indeed looking on in the box of Kuznetsova. Tadera, by the way, second stint working with Keys. Well, Keys doing so well just to get to that return.
And Kuznetsova doing very well, doing a little bit of a breakdance there. We get another look at this move. This good approach shot deep. Very, very good volley. Racket head out in front.
I think the coach, I think he said right at the start, was play with what you have. So maybe Keys feeling, you know, the effects of a long week.
She certainly was indicating that maybe towards her hip was getting a little bit tight. You'd expect, obviously she has played a lot of tennis, but so has her opponent.
Crushing that return. She has had her injury issues over the years, Keys. Unfortunately, adductor on and off, wrist surgery, end of 2016, then again in 2017. This year, start of the year, bit of a knee problem.
Of course, she's been a pro as well for 10 years.
Won her first match as a 14-year-old, and Kuznetsova showing all the craft there of a 20-year veteran.
What a return of serve here. In the air, backhand. Look at the angle that she creates. So comfortable coming forward. 16 doubles titles to her career as well.
Advantage, Keys.
And a couple of Grand Slams as well. Alicia Mullock, I believe she won one with in Australia. And I'm sure I remember the other one when I look up my notes.
Yes.
Keys just hoping to hang on in this game, stay in the opening set. The serve, I think maybe Kuznetsova there is wondering, should she have stopped to challenge? Yes, she has done it. She's stayed in the first set, Madison Keys, in a game that threatened to get really complicated after she was up 40 love.
5 games to 4.
5-4. Svetlana Kuznetsova bidding to win this title as a wild card. That would duplicate the feat of her fellow Russian, Maria Sharapova, in 2011. This would be a big step towards the final. She wins this first set. And just like on the first point of the match, a little dribble over, net court winner for her.
Another taste of luck there. Madison Keys just trying to make sure she doesn't make any unforced errors there, playing with high margins in that last point. Just digging in and trying to win a different way, Keys, as we spoke about at the start of the match. She can't rely on her big strike at this stage of the match. She cannot afford to give free points away. Oh. Just exceptional ball striking here. They're both going toe-to-toe on the forehand. Kuznetsova saying, beat that. And she can.
And now 2 break chances.
15-14.
It's been coming. Kuznetsova's having to press a little bit harder in this game.
Good margins there from Kuznetsova, but also able to do damage.
Very smart. Went for the wide play, opening up the court, trying to get Keys on the move.
She initially soaked up all the pressure, Kuznetsova, but in the end, Keys gets her reward.
Well, that's simply too good from Keys. As you say, Ravi, absorbing, soaking up that pressure, but crucially, when she had the opportunity, she had the courage to step up and take it.
Level in the first set. Well, this is looking a bit like that encounter in Beijing, also in Sydney. Kuznetsova with those break leads deep in the first set. She couldn't close it out. In fact, in their 3 meetings, hasn't won a set against Keys. First one, Rogers Cup 2014. Had to retire in the second set. Really in full flow now, Madison Keys. 9 aces.
Seems Kuznetsova do that so often in the week. When she's loved 40 down on that service game, she goes for it, plays really big and aggressive on the first point.
Three straight games for Madison Keys. She's turned around this first set, and she's the one who now leads 6-5.
6-5.
Well, how big is that game? Looking now, the game where Keys saved those 3 break chances. So now Kuznetsova serving to stay in the set rather than trying to serve it out.
And this is what so far is making this match so appealing, in the sense that now, towards the end of this first set, both players are starting to play their very best tennis. Kuznetsova is also having to raise her game because Keys has raised hers.
Wait, please.
Just picked her spot. Struck it so cleanly, Keys.
Certainly has, and she's up again very, very quickly. She picks her target so early. She gets all her body weight behind the ball. Such an early setup.
Kuznetsova floored, but she's okay. And Keys, nice that she checked on the Russian.
Well, I think simply she is floored, Ravi, because the backhand cross courts here, the quality of them from Keys, it was ruthless. And she's giving everything that she's got. Kuznetsova, full stretch behind her.
She had the opportunity to put that point away, Kuznetsova. But when she didn't, paying the price.
And how good was the defense of Madison Keys here? Staying in that rally again. Kuznetsova looked tired there.
And she's loved that element of her game this week. She said she's worked on that a lot, her movement. Set point to the American. Comeback complete for Madison Keys in the first set. She takes the opener 7-5.
Una pena porque el partido está bueno por 2 detalles.
Que me saca abierto y que no puedo
ese no, pero partidas ahí ya sabemos a lo que pasa. Ahí no podemos hacer nada con esos abiertos, está sacando bien. Con el saque está todo bien, simplemente cuando después del primer saque un poco más activa para poder tirar, si puedes, el primer tiro. Ahí ya puede cambiar un poco.
Ahora, tiré paralelo. Este no se ha abierto con viento, por eso no puede.
Ha jugado con aire a favor, está bien. Oye, pero al final el partido está bueno, no estamos haciendo cagadas. Fíjate, este juego lo pones a jugar, has jugado los cruzados porque tienes que jugar cruzado, al final te saca un zambombazo, ahí no tenemos que aceptar, no pasa nada. Si tú sigues en la dinámica, no te va a poder jugar todo el rato. Está jugando el nivel en los momentos importantes buenos y tú estás sólida. Claro. Simplemente eso. Bueno, pero ya pasará. Ahora va a volver otra vez, que se ha levantado un poquito más de brisa, va a volver otra vez. ¿Vale? Sobre todo eso, en los inicios, cuando inicies con el bote, cuando venga la primera, con la derecha, apriétale un poquito más, tírale un poquito más, que vaya un poquito. Si ganas un par de metros en esa pelota que le vaya lejos, ya la pelota te vendrá diferente. Sí, tu derecha tuya, que la quieres cuidar un poquito demasiado esa. Ahí le tiramos.
No quiero fallar porque es que me falla.
Bueno, no, pero ella también te va a fallar. Está bueno, hay buenos rallies buenos, estás jugando a buen nivel. Y vamos a seguir así porque vas a tener, aparte es el típico momento que vamos a tener la chance. Lo que hablamos anteriormente del saque, vamos sobre todo focalizados en nuestro saque. Y cuando te aparezca, fíjate cuando le has hecho pensar, vamos a seguir haciendo lo mismo, vamos a seguir variándole las posiciones en el resto. A veces te montas muy bien, porque cuando te montas la estás tirando para el lado perfecto. Cuando te apartes le tiras lejos, variando ahí, ¿vale? Vamos, sigue disfrutando. Tapa el abierto, enséñaselo. Y a veces incluso móntate un poquito que te vea muy cerca, ¿vale?
¿Para el primero?
Sí, para el primero igual, estás bloqueando, le bloqueas así, ¿vale? Como puedas.
Second set. Keys to serve.
An exhale for Madison Keys as she readies to serve to begin set number 2. Well, the question is, Claire, how does Kuznetsova come back from losing that really tough first set?
It was tough, wasn't it, from the perspective of she did so many very, very good things. Didn't get the opportunity at 4-2 when she had those 3 break points. Double break was crucial for her. I think the first thing she's got to do is forget about it and not to worry about it and just remember that her level is high. She's been around long enough to understand that Keys' level in that towards the end of that first set was really top class, was at her very highest. And she's got to hope and wait for the opportunity that Keys' maybe level will drop again, because if it does drop again, she'll be right there, but she has to be mentally in the right place to be able to take that opportunity, and also her game has to be ready for it as well. There was one aspect that stopped working really towards the end of that first set, and it was the backhand cross court. Keys was absorbing it and playing cross court even bigger. I just feel there's maybe a couple of opportunities. Kuznetsova will have to change direction now, either with the slice or go big down the line with the backhand.
Oh, in full flow. Here's Madison Keys, another winner. 26 now in total.
First game, second set.
And that has been the difference between the two players, and it's what you would expect. We know just the weapons that Madison Keys has in her game, but just in that first set alone, being able to execute those 26 winners, and Kuznetsova, for all that she was trying to be really aggressive, she was only able to step up and hit 7. And the big difference for Keys is that in the last 5 or 6 games, she wasn't leaking on forced errors at all. She's just got more weapons, aces, winners. It was a very good set from Keys, but equally an excellent set from Kuznetsova.
Just that one game, the one game you felt where she fended off those break chances, 3 of them. More aggression there from Kuznetsova.
So much strength in this forehand. She's behind the baseline. Her weight is going backwards. She's able to create that forehand angle winner with a pivot. Again, so much racket work.
40 love.
She's trying to win this title, Kuznetsova, after saving those match points against Diana Yastremska. 2 of them. Plucks it away to stay in this game, Keys. She was on the receiving end in 2005, Kuznetsova, at the French Open against Justine Henin. 4th round, match point. Henin saved it, won the match. It was a 3-hour battle, and then she went on to win the title.
That's a great stat, Ravi. And it happens often, doesn't it? You see it happen in tournaments. Happened in the Australian Open.
Last year, both Halep and Wozniacki saved match points to get to the final. That was remarkable.
Game, Kuznetsova.
So that threatened to be a tricky game for Kuznetsova after losing that first set.
Game on.
But she does get the hold she was looking for.
Still thinking about those sliding door moments.
Yeah, they're so interesting in tennis, aren't they?
I'd be very, very pleased with that turnaround that Keys made in that first set, and finding a way to get the type of performance that she did towards the end of the set. Of course, now the question that I'd be asking is, can she keep that level? Can she keep her focus and her intensity?
She started off this year, Keys, working with Jim Madrigal. Now with Tadero. She's had some coaches in her career, a couple of stints with Lindsay Davenport, Dieter Kindelman, among other coaches.
A lot of coaches. Although she seems so young when she is at 24, she also had a lot of time on the tour. But
15, 13.
Maybe the answers that she's looking for, the question, she knows them already. She's got it herself. There certainly seems to be no reason why not. Why can she not win more titles? Challenge again for a Grand Slam.
Not up. 30.
She's gone deep at the majors. I mean, Australian Open, she's been a semi-finalist there. Semi-finalist at the French, which she really took pleasure out of because she's made no secret of the fact that she could struggle playing on the clay. Finalist at the US Open, lost to her pal Sloane Stephens. And maybe surprisingly, no semi-finals at Wimbledon because she loves playing on the grass. It seems like her game would be really suited with those booming ground strokes. Plus a serve.
Well, we've seen the people that have, 2 players that have won it. Wimbledon this year, Simona Halep and Angelique Kerber. So much of their game is based around their ability to be able to absorb pressure and defend. And you can have a huge game on the grass, but you've got to be able to find your way to stay in points as well. And it's that defensive maybe ability that's just, she struggled on the grass, as so many other big hitters have.
Let's listen.
Pliskova.
Although she won Eastbourne. Pliskova.
Yeah. And so did Keys.
Yeah.
And Wozniacki.
First break chance of this second set goes to Kuznetsova. Oh, wonderfully saved.
Yes.
Oh, the serve is so important here. Got enough kick on it that set up her biggest shot, that forehand.
But that one misfiring.
Kuznetsova.
Oh, we haven't seen her hit that since the start of the first set.
That one is wide. So that's what Kuznetsova was looking for, a break. And it comes early in the second set. 2-1.
All right, guys, it's time for the Lock Mobile Office Fan Cam. How many of you are enjoying tennis and still keeping up with the office?
This one too, guys.
Come on, yeah, we see you. We see you on your cell phones. For more than 125 years, Lock Office Furniture and Workplace Design experts have been creating smarter spaces to facilitate workflow, enhance collaboration, and build culture. Visit lockinc.com to learn more. And since you have your phones out, you might as well save the date for 2020, August 15th through the 23rd, the Western and Southern Open.
Time.
Up a break in the second set is Svetlana Kuznetsova.
Love it.
Well, she did a very good job of putting that first set behind her. Not in terms of the tennis that she played, but just in terms of the disappointment of losing it. Because the tennis that she played, the quality of it was very high. So much confidence in that backhand corner. And this will hurt Kuznetsova because this backhand that she hit with enough width and depth, very, very good. It's just too good, the response. It's kind of stunning when she hits a winner like that and then it nullifies it, that return.
She was trying to go for that same type of shot, except on the forehand.
And it's not a normal winner, that backhand down the line. It's a 2 out of 10 winner, and she's done it, she's pulled it off, but the last 2 shots that she's hit, she's almost tried to do the same type of thing, and suddenly she's won 1 from 3 points going big.
Two of 4.
Let's see how the game goes. 2 of 4 is not bad when you're on a return game, I guess. There's a lot of pressure on me in this next point, isn't there?
Yes.
She did go big once again there on the return.
I was going to say the point before when she made the mistake, but she didn't even go big. That's even more frustrating for her.
Game, Kuznetsova. New balls,
That
please.
was an interesting game. Return game from Keys.
Kuznetsova leads 3 games to 1.
Because she hadn't really done that the entire match.
I think whenever she's reflecting on this match, that will be a game, no matter what happens, that will be a game that they'll look at. Because just from a statistical point of view and the way that she played it so aggressively, so big, the margins weren't high at all. Is that a type of game that you can make improvements on?
Saves the break chance there. Scrambling as ever, Kuznetsova, as you often do, playing Keys with those big ground strokes. And a nice finishing ball from Keys.
Well, she's much more patient in this rally, Keys. Just waiting for the right opportunity. That's a great picture we got there.
30 love.
And there's no question Kuznetsova will be thinking about that first set and how she had that break of serve, and she'd love to put pressure on this serve, get another break.
40 love.
And it's reminiscent of the first set. She's down like that in the scoreboard. She comes up with the big serves. 10 aces.
You're telling yourself just to move into the shot, Keys.
Yeah, ball dropped. Couldn't control the racket head. The racket head opened up. Body and racket head were so far from each other.
Game, Keys.
But she responds immediately, Keys. Keeps it close in this second set. The Russian leading 3-2 set, but Svetlana Kuznetsova looks like she's having fun in this final. All smiles in her chair. And she's talked this week about a different kind of mindset, mentality, treating the wins and losses the same, not getting too stressed. She said if she wasn't a tennis player, Claire, Kuznetsova, that she wouldn't mind being a rapper. She really loves her music.
I was waiting for something like that. Yeah, she's a great personality, isn't she? And she's one player who knows how to work hard on the tennis court, and she works very, very hard at it, but she also knows how to switch off. Not defined by her tennis at all. And she's really enjoying it. You can see at the change of ends, just that jovial side to her.
Yeah, she spent a lot of the time growing up in Spain, but loves spending as much time as she can at home in Moscow. Right into the body. Good serve.
It's a very good serve. You see Madison Keys couldn't get those feet out of the way. Yeah, I've heard rumors that she's got a thing called a party bus back home in Moscow. That's something I wouldn't mind being part of, that bus. A little disco ball.
Well, that little slice from Keys managed to stay in. And then she got the shorter ball, the ball that she wanted.
Again, just didn't get her feet up to it, into the right position. Still thinking about the party bus. Not sure a Russian and an Irish person would be a good combination.
No comment. Smart volleying from Kuznetsova. And Claire, you were talking earlier about her and doubles. Yes, she won one of those Australian Open titles with Alicia Molik in doubles. Another one at the Australian Open with Vera Zvonareva.
I knew I was right. But yes, and it's contrast actually, just in terms of the doubles in the career so far. Madison Keys hasn't yet won a doubles title. 16, Kuznetsiva's won.
Inside the top 3 in the world in both singles and doubles. Highest rankings, Kuznetsova.
It's 15.
And this is the game in that first set where she had the break opportunities, 3 of them. Dan Maskell always said about the 7th game, the most important game.
Just popped up that volley a little bit, however.
Yeah, Kuznetsova did not do enough with this volley. Didn't move her feet through it, gave it too much air. Hughes did well staying in the point, but really it was an easy finish.
As a coach, Claire, don't you think any game is important? How many times have we seen even the first game of a set prove to be so critical?
Well, they are, but there's definitely aspects in a set that games raise in importance, and difference between 4-2, 5-2 and 4-3 huge right now.
Yankees.
Yeah, and that assumes they're on serve, as they are here. Bit of a rhythm now on serve for Madison Keys. She's up a set, but down a break in the second.
They call us the tenacious, the authors of rhythms. And you see how we are ambassadors of hope. Hope is taking on complex challenges together. Hope is more specialists and more options through academic medicine. Hope is the region's preferred neuroscientist at UC College. Hope is right here in Cincinnati. In science, yes.
Deep end now of this second set. Madison Keys trying to get the break to level in the second. Well, unforced error there, but generally good numbers from Keys. You always know the winners are going to come, but you also keep an eye on the unforced errors from Keys. But her differential, very good.
Yeah, exactly. And at this stage in the set, that's what she'll be thinking about, the unforced errors. The winners are there. She's just got to minimize those unforced errors. Very good. Kuznetsova keeping the pressure on. Smart use of the serve there. And taking the ball on early, getting that first strike in.
40 love.
First serve percentage of Kuznetsova has gone down in this set, but the points won behind that first serve have gone up. Taking a few more risks, going bigger on it.
God.
Well, not only getting that ball, but then doing something with it, Kuznetsova. That forehand really stretching keys outside the tram lines.
Well, you could see from that last point just an indication of how confident Kuznetsova is whenever Madison Keys is out of court position there. And that last forehand that she had all the time in the world, and she wasn't overly stressed by Keys going back in behind her.
Miss Kuznetsova is another call on the right passed line. The ball's called out.
She has challenges in hand, so maybe figuring why not. In that situation, Kuznetsova.
$15. $30 love. Miss Kuznetsova has 2 challenges remain. $40 love.
Perfect game so far from Keys. That's all she can do.
$40-15.
She had that 42-second game yesterday against Kennan. An important one because she carried over that momentum and broke in the next game to get level in the second set.
Game.
And she'll be hoping to do the same thing in this situation. But first, a conversation with the coach.
5-4. Leads 5 games to 4.
All right, this is a game of push. We talked about it a lot. All right, when is your ball better? When it's up here or when you let it drop? All those mistakes, and I understand that the legs were at the end of the tournament. But if you let the ball drop, 2 things happen. Your ball has less quality and you're risking more. So these returns that you're coming, if we think about, when you think about making the ball go through, is when you play best. And you gotta catch those balls on the rise. She plays short many times, so you gotta take the inside of the court. We've been absorbing great all week, right? If she goes good, what do? We just carry the diagonal back, absorb, go cross court, and we get back inside. But you are taking more risk because you're letting the balls drop. That's what are the mistakes. And listen, we've done it so well, no? We've done it so well. I need you to do the last push, and I need you to have the courage to go through the ball, all right? Like we always do. And you're serving great. You have one that you lost a little bit of focus. All right? On these returns, put the return on her foot and take the court. Then you play without overheating, simple like we practice, but everything on the right. You play here, here, there. When you it's a matter of time. Second set, she tried to go more inside because as soon as you took the inside of the court, she said, I have no chance back there. So it's about that.
Time.
Up. You got this, eh? Come on. Without moving.
Svetlana Kuznetsova had a chance to serve out the first set against Madison Keys. She was broken, ended up losing that first set, but same situation now in the second. She's hoping for a different outcome. 5-4. doing what the coach said during that chat. He talked about taking the ball at a different height.
Yeah, it was a Vince Lombardi moment, wasn't it? The motivational speech to your player to get the very best out of them at the most important time. And it was just about stepping up, taking the ball early. And she listened. She took that advice on board.
Well, she took on that forehand down the line, Kuznetsova. No hesitation. At love 15.
Kuznetsova countering what Keys is trying to do here. She's taking the time from her by getting that first strike in and using the lines. Still would like to see her finishing at the net there.
Oh, it was that same forehand again that put her in control of the point.
15, 13.
But then missing the overhead.
Well, the forehand, she could still do more with this, but as the ball drops under the height of the net, she needs spin to get it back into the court. That's a tired-looking smash.
Oh, on the run. A stunning drive from Madison Keys.
15, 14.
Well, this has come out of absolutely nowhere. She's so quick up to this. Gets the full stretch forehand, picks the target down the line. What acceleration.
2 break chances and now a second serve for Keys. 40 winners. She is broken, as she was in the first set. Five games apiece.
5 games over.
Oh, well, she hit that one winner in that game. It was the defensive skills of Madison Keys that got her that break of serve, and just her willingness to be able to absorb pressure and run.
And second point, or pardon me, the third point of that game at 15. Oh, that was huge. So what happened in the first set?
And the resilience of Kuznetsova is being tested again, as it has done throughout the entire week and at a certain stage of this match, but this is it right now. She's got to hang in.
And the 41 winners match her total from yesterday against Kennan. And just 21 unforced errors yesterday. Similar ratio today.
It's just perfect. Absolutely perfect, that backhand down the line.
15.
Got her feet to the ball. She was there, racket head nice and early. Just a short swing. Good reaction.
It's very hot out there. Trying to save the energy even in watching. Well, trying to make
15,
a real big
13.
push, Keys. But potentially a couple of games away from the title. Kuznetsova having other ideas. That serve doing enough to prompt that miscue from Kuznetsova. Didn't quite close that one down, Keys.
It's fatigue. She's trying not to show it. You can see in her body language, just the movement up to the net. She's feeling it.
But she musters up the energy to save that break chance.
It's so important that she cuts off the angle with this backhand, takes it early, opens up the court.
And as the coach was saying, yeah, into the court, taking it at a nice height, not letting it get too low.
Let's serve.
Nine aces in the first set, 3 in the second. But great use of the legs there, the drive.
Keys.
I think it's also because she doesn't want to have to hit another shot in this rally. She's going back to what she does best.
She gets out of that game, Madison Keys. And is so close now to this title in Cincinnati. A set at 6-5. This final at the Western and Southern Open, it was because of Venus that she got into tennis. She was watching it on the television one day, Venus playing at Wimbledon. She liked her dress and started to play tennis. And here we are, some years later, closing in on what would be the biggest title of her career. This match played in the great spirit.
Yep. 3-0.
She's a football fan, Sveta.
She's certainly trying.
30 love.
And laughing matters aside, how big is that first point in a situation like this for Kuznetsova to get it?
Massive. But you can see that Kuznetsova is taking the ball on early and getting Keys on the move. Keys is going big at the moment. Just maybe not willing to stay in the points, Keys.
Let's second set.
Unloading on that backhand.
30-15. $40-15.
Tired looking return there. A wonderfully placed serve, so Kuznetsova holds in that situation. Under severe pressure, gets to the
tiebreak. Both players received one additional challenge.
Kuznetsova looks the fresher of the two. I don't think she feels it. She's certainly not showing it.
Six and 2 in tie breaks on the year, Kuznetsova. Key 6 and 5. They both won big tie breaks this week. Kuznetsova, 3 of them. And Keys talking about winning that second set against Muguruza in a tiebreak after she lost the first set in a breaker. And last week, Donna Vekic winning 2 tie breaks as she pulled out that encounter. She wants that one back, Kuznetsova.
Not under any pressure in that shot, and it's not that she's trying to be overly aggressive with it either. It's a bad unforced error from her.
Miss Kuznetsova channel call on the right pass line. The ball is called out.
Important one here. Oh, can you get any closer than that?
2-1. Kuznetsova.
Smart point. Measured but aggressive.
Produces 2 huge serves. That one close to her fastest.
Keys.
Has hit one today at 118. That one at 117. is the first to open up a 2-point cushion.
Keys.
Happy in that rally, Keys, just to stay behind the baseline, absorb the pressure. Kuznetsova just not able to be more creative, maybe try to find a drop shot, bring her into the court there. That's smart from Kuznetsova, because that's her playing a point that's out of her comfort zone, finding a way to win with her B game. We spoke a lot about that at the start of the match. Her A game's that good. She can beat most players with it. Just finding a way with that B game, and she's finding it here.
With 2 serves to come after this point for Keys, it feels like a must-win point for Kuznetsova. And she gets it, powering through the forehand.
4-3, Keys.
We're taking advantage of Keys staying behind the baseline there. And as well as Keys is defending off the ball, she's still got to keep looking for those opportunities to step up and be big with her shots.
Backhand flying on the American. Oh, that miss it almost on the line from Kuznetsova. Would have been tricky to handle. (5-4) to Keys. And she brings up 2 championship points.
Oh, how quickly she turns into an aggressive player in this point. She pounces on the short ball. It's been that ability to be able to hit those big winners. It's taken her to this position.
Oh, what a way to save it. She's saved match points once this week, Kuznetsova.
Keys.
And saves that one. But Keys now with a championship point on her own serve. It is long. And Madison Keys, who entered Cincinnati on a 3-match losing streak, snaps that skid, and how. She wins the biggest title of her career by beating Svetlana Kuznetsova 7-5, 7-6.
Both players gave it their absolute all. And Kuznetsova, she just threw the kitchen sink at her. But fitting for Madison Keys that she finished that match with a top spin first serve. She was tight, she was nervous, but she found a way to win. And she was able today to implement her A and her B game.
Such an impressive performance from Madison Keys. Had the power, but also measuredness. Very, very composed. A big hug with the coach. And the timing of this title could not be better for Madison Keys, with the U.S. Open just over a week away, where she has made the final in the past. She'll be back inside the top 10, so a top 10 seeding in New York.
Well, of course, she'll feel very confident going into New York, having had that success over the last couple of years. But she's very impressed with the way in which she navigated herself through that match. We always knew she would come up with big winners and big serves, but at times, at crucial times, she hung back on that baseline. And towards the end of both sets, she did that. And she was able to play with heavy spin and be quite aggressive from the baseline, but measured and not make any unforced errors. And that really was the big difference in both sets, in that she didn't leak any unforced errors. She kept the pressure on Kuznetsova throughout, despite being a breakdown in both sets. Kuznetsova, she should be very, very pleased with her performance this week.
And I'm sure she's getting some messages on her phone, messages of congratulations for this great week she has had. A real jump in the rankings for Kuznetsova. She's getting some messages too, I'm sure. His Keys.
I mean, the youth of today. On the phone, straight off. I'm sure she's getting a lot of messages saying well done for that performance. And you look at the amount of aces, and we know that Madison Keys would serve that many aces, points that she wins behind her first serve. She just got so many weapons, and no bigger weapon than the amount of winners that she hits off that forehand and backhand side. But it's not there. What was impressive as well today from her was the amount of times she came into the net, 16 times in total, and she won 75% of the points when she did come in. And that's just adding that extra element. Kuznetsova didn't do much wrong. She tried everything, as she's done all week long. She's tried to find a solution, but at the end of the day, Madison Keys, she just has too big a game, too many weapons.
She'll reflect Kuznetsova on the latter stages of both sets, and she tried to serve it out. I mean, she's up a break in both sets, so yeah, we talked about it. Their matches in the past where she's had the leads in the first set, wasn't able to close them out, and you wonder if that was in her head, just thinking back to Beijing and that situation. But yeah, indeed, how the match could have been different.
Well, margins in this sport are so fine, the difference between winning and losing, and if there was a margin or there was a moment that Kuznetsova maybe had that chance, it was 4-2. It was the little backhand that she had at that break point, that for a moment there was slight hesitation in shot selection. She missed the backhand into the net. It was a little slice, and then before you know it, it was 3-4, not 2-5. And at that time you thought, could that be the difference? And I think it was, certainly in the first set.
Yeah, they played an hour and 45 minutes, nearly 2-hour match, and that one point could have been the biggest of the entire one. As you say, Claire, it felt like she had a lot of time on that backhand. Keys was stranded at the net. She'd been making those shots, and if it had been 5-2, 2 breaks, that is the ever, as ever in tennis, right? The if and the hypotheticals. We love doing it. And as mentioned, Keys